I'm Rebecca at the Dry Eye Company in Paulsbo, Washington. I run the Dry Eye Zone and Dry Eye Shop websites. Today we're going to talk about dry eye glasses and sunglasses, also known as moisture chamber glasses. We're going to run over benefits, how they work, who they work for, how you find the right ones for you. We're going to look at all sorts of different frames, types of shields, just get an idea of the different options. Before I start, just full disclosure, financial relationships, etc. I have absolutely zero financial interest in dry eye glasses at this point. We no longer sell them at the shop because it was uneconomic to do so. I'm going to miss them terribly. I'm a huge believer in dry eye glasses. I have absolutely nothing monetary to gain from referring you to other places to buy them, and yet I send people out left and right to buy dry eye glasses because they are simply such an important pain management tool for people who have severe dry eye symptoms. They've been a mainstay of practical quality of life management for people like us for a really long time. So we're going to run over a number of different options for them. So first of all, what are dry eye glasses or moisture chamber glasses? And I want to make a clear distinction here because people get this idea confused with the night goggles. The night goggles, the things you wear overnight to protect your eyes, are a completely different thing. Talking about Tranquileyes and eye seals and quartz and onyx and sleep masks and all that. Those are night protection. We use the term moisture chambers sometimes a little too broadly. To me, moisture chamber glasses are any type of glasses or sunglasses that have some kind of shield in them. Oh, let me grab an example. Something that's going to close the gap between the frame itself and your skin so that you don't have any airflow over your eyes when you have them on. They come in all different shapes and forms. So the purpose of moisture chamber glasses or dry eye glasses is twofold. It's to keep stuff out and to keep stuff in. What are you keeping out? You're keeping out wind when you're outdoors. You're keeping out super dry air when you're in a dry environment, outdoors or indoors. You're keeping out moving air from vents. You're keeping out moving air, period. If you're just walking across a room, the moving air in front of your eyes, if you have a really poor quality fragile tear film, it's going to contribute to breaking that tear film up. And for a lot of us, it can be pain triggering. So dry eye glasses are meant to keep out air movement and just create a still air chamber in front of your eyes. They can keep out particles and dust and all that, obviously, too. Then what do they keep in? We're basically trying to keep in moisture. So you put those on, and any moisture in your eyes from your natural tears or your artificial tears or what have you, plus your body heat, that's all going to add up to increased humidity in this chamber that's created in front of your eyes. And the purpose of it all, obviously, to try to keep more moisture on your eyes, but also just pain management. For so many people who are very dry or have hypersensitive eyes or have hypersensitive eyes, any air movement contributes to pain. So we're really trying to just get people more comfortable in a super practical way that doesn't introduce any side effects. To me, dry eye glasses are the fastest, most reliable, safest way to get someone who's extremely uncomfortable comfortable quickly without introducing risks. So there's something you use in parallel with all your medical treatments. Anyway, let's look at some specific glasses. So we're going to start with the indoorsy types, the things that you wear that hopefully will be the least goggly looking. There is no way to make a moisture chamber that's not going to be visible to the world, that it's a little bit more unusual, not quite like regular glasses, but some are worse than others. And for indoor use, whether it's work or just out in the world in general, we want to try to avoid the goggle effect if we can. So the best contenders for that are Ziena Eyewear, microenvironment glasses, and custom moisture chambers. So Ziena Eyewear, let's take a look at some frames. The Ziena Oasis was the very first one on the market in this series way back, I want to say 2011 or 12, and it was revolutionary because up until then we basically just had black foam seals, which are great. They're extremely functional and they're extremely stupid looking indoors. So this was a revolution. And the first frame is a women's frame, of course, because that's where a majority of the market lies. It was a pretty elegant frame, actually, they did a good job with it. They made them in clear lenses, dark lenses, what have you, all different types of lenses. The limitation of this frame style was twofold. The shields for them, for some reason, the top has a shallower seal than the bottom. So I found people at work who've got, say, a fan blowing down on them, have some problems getting a proper seal at the top. They're also just kind of a weird fit. So we always had a super high return rate on these, but it's a pretty frame and they make them in a few different colors. I should back up and explain what the Ziena series is. Ziena glasses have a silicone shield that attaches with little magnets. The technology is good. I love the silicone type of shield because it's just very soft and gentle. You barely feel it on your face. It can go right to the skin with nothing irritating, unless obviously you're allergic to silicone and then you're kind of out of luck. But compared to a foam seal, you can wear these things all day long without problems. So the technology is quite good. Eventually, many years down the road, they came out with some other frame styles. This is the Nereus. It's more of a men's or a unisex style frame. I think they did a good job because they made a wide temple here, which mostly covers up the shield. Has a nice, deep, pretty deep coverage, at least, top and bottom. I found this one fits an awful lot of men very well. Not everyone. Occasionally, they're just a little too short for people with large orbits. A lot of women wear this frame. My own daughter's wearing a pair of prescription ones of these right now. I really like the depth at the side. Then we've got the Verona. I'm just going to take off the shield for a minute. This is a black shield. They've got one that's really good for kind of light sensitive people. This was the next one that they brought out, kind of a women's styling. It's nothing fancier to write home about. I do like it when they started coming out with more colors instead of just the black and tortoise that everything seems to be. Not super special, but the fit was very good. Works well for a lot of people. They eventually brought out also these darker shields, so for people who are photophobic, those will help with keeping light out around the periphery. Anyway. That's the Verona style. There's one more in that series. This is a Seacrest frame. The Seacrest is basically almost identical to the Nereus. The only real difference is it's ever so slightly wider and the shield is a lot shorter. This one is designed for a so-called Asian fit. You can see the difference. Sort of, kind of, with the Nereus. Just the Nereus is going to be a lot, put this in front here for a sec, a lot taller, but the styling is very, very similar. As I said, the width is just a little bit different. Okay, so that is the Ziena series. What else do I want to say about those? The shields are surprisingly durable, I'd say. When they first brought them out, I thought people were going to have to change them. They were saying every month or two. I find, you can practically stomp on the things, and they really do last quite well. Main limitation, maintenance-wise, is that these little magnets, they're like anything else with glue. If you get it wet regularly, the glue is going to break down and they're going to come out. So you're either going to be looking for warranty replacements or just having to buy replacements of things. So there's magnets on the frame itself and magnets on the eye cup. You just want to try to avoid immersing things in water so that that glue lasts as long as possible. They suggest baby wipes to clean them. Not all of us are crazy about baby wipes from a chemical standpoint, but it is an idea for sure. Anyway, those are the Ziena series glasses. Then I just happen to have a couple of frames left over from the microenvironment glasses. You can find those at cfitmegs.com. I should back up. The other ones are all at zienaeyewear.com. Anyway, so for the microenvironment glasses, this is what these guys look like. This is more of a traditional wireframe glasses with these removable colored silicone shields. They come in a bunch of different colors and they kind of snap on over the lens. One of the advantages of these guys is being able to put pretty high RXs in them. So when these came out, I was pretty excited from that standpoint. Some of the folks that had a really high prescription, this is one of the few options we had for them. There's some limitations to the design, which somebody who's knowledgeable about opticianry, which I absolutely am not, could probably speak to eloquently about the way that the lenses are drilled. But anyway, these have been a good option for some people. The limitation of the microenvironment glasses is that the shields are so shallow. If you compare these to a Ziena, for example, you're just looking at a pretty shallow coverage. So they're going to be very fit dependent in terms of getting any kind of seal. But on the, I had people walk into my office once in a while and try them on, and once in a while I'd get somebody where it just happened to be just the perfect fit. So they can be quite good. If they're not, then you're looking at kind of incremental improvement from partial coverage. They have 3 different size frames. I've just got a couple of them here somewhere. This is their kind of women's frame. Does look like it. See, on me there's an enormous gap, but they're not going to fit everyone the same. It's really down to individual fit and the contours of your face. There's a larger men's one that's really quite good. Their unisex one is tiny. Yeah, it's their narrowest one, and sometimes when I'm kind of at my wit's end to find something that will fit somebody really small, I send them off to get these ones, the unisex C-Fit makes. And they make these shields in, I don't know, red and purple and a variety of colors. And some people would like the concept of these individual ones, I think, more than the other type of seals. Just depends on the person. All right, that's C-Fit Megs. What's next? Custom moisture chamber glasses. I don't have any of these to show you, but I do know plenty of people that have bought them. Sources for those would include Scott Kornfeld, that's Kornfeld on Long Island, well known for doing this for a really long time, really good at it. I know people that have gotten custom moisture chambers made at Bascom Palmer in Miami. There are other places, don't ask me where. You can go on the Facebook groups or something and put feelers out if you want to try to find some kind of local source. But the idea behind custom moisture chambers is you take your own glasses, obviously it's got to be compatible with whatever process they have, but the optician creates a clear panel that is custom fitted to your glasses and will ideally give you full coverage right from the frame to your skin that is custom designed for your face. So that's your kind of ideal case, and hopefully those shields will be less noticeable than some of the other silicone types that are either colored or kind of semi-opaque, because these ones would typically be completely clear. So those are the main options for indoor dry eyeglasses where you don't want to wear something that is absolutely screaming goggles. Then we move to outdoor stuff. There we're talking more about sports wrap type sunglasses that have some kind of a foam shield, either built on or removable, preferably removable if you're going to be wearing them a lot of the time, because you want to be able to replace them because the foam will wear out and make them more washable and all that. So the top contenders in that area are the 7-Eye Air Shield brand and the Wiley X Climate Control brand. The 7-Eye Air Shields have generally been my favorite for the most part because I find the foam both deeper and more skin friendly on most of the frames. With moisture chambers, the whole point is you want to get full coverage right to your skin when you can. So the deeper the foam, the better, so long as it's the right shape for you. But the problem with foam is if you've got it sitting on your face all day, it can get really itchy. So you have to pay some attention to the type of foam that's on it. Then with the Wiley X ones, an advantage I find with them is I sometimes just get better vision because some of their frame styles wrap more. They have a wider lens, so I can get kind of more vision to the side. So I tend to go for Wiley X for glasses that I feel safe driving in, even though sometimes the foam annoys me because it's itchy. Wiley X foam is also shallower, which for some people is going to be an advantage because not everybody wants the deep foam seals. Obviously, the deeper it is, the more noticeable it's going to be. So let's look at some specific ones. The concept of, say, 7-eye air shields is they've got a removable foam eye cup. The mechanism will vary from frame to frame. It will slide in or snap in. The eye cups have little vents in them to help prevent fogging. The concept of the foam is to completely fill that gap, to go right to your skin. That means there have to be a lot of different frame styles because what's going to fit one person won't fit another. It depends on the size of your orbital bone, the shape, your contours and all that. It's all about trying on different frames. And there comes the challenge, because where can you try these babies on? You're going to be hard put to find a place that stocks more than 1 or 2 styles. So if they're running a service that allows you to try out a few frames at a time, as they are at the time that I'm recording this video, they've got a 10-day trial thing. Absolutely go for it. It totally makes sense. Just because one frame does not fit you at all doesn't mean there isn't one other frame out there somewhere that will fit you very well. So this one is the 7-eye Breeza. This is their most popular women's frame. On me, it fits pretty well. I get pretty good coverage. The frame's too narrow for me. I've got kind of a big wide face, so it ends up getting pushed forward and I'll end up with gaps. But on a lot of women, this is actually quite a versatile frame style. It fits a lot of people very well. Here's another one. This is a PanHead. I love this one. Much better fit for me. This is a larger one. Fits a lot of men really well. I used to sometimes fit women in this too. This one, it just feels like it's going on like a glove, and you can see it's just got really good coverage across the top, pretty well across the bottom too. This is also one of the few that they tend to say is a good kind of Asian fit. I don't know why, because it's pretty curved, but that's what they say. Let's see. The Cyclone is this one. The Cyclone is one of the, what they call the legacy frames, where the foam is built right onto the frame, so you can't pop it out, replace it by another one. They do have a service though where you can send the frame into the manufacturer and they will refoam it for you for a fee that's pretty much comparable to buying that replacement seal. I'll just show a couple more frame styles. This one is the Chirata. You can see this one's got a giant seal in it. It's quite deep. For a long time, this has been my favorite when I talk to, say, a woman who is basically housebound from photophobia. She's so light sensitive, just can barely open the eyes. I love this for the deep shields. Get nice dark lenses put in them, put it on, and you just got no peripheral light coming in. Because when you're super light sensitive, the light coming around the edges of the frame can be even more painful than light coming right through the lenses. This is the frame style they used to call Sirocco. It's the very first frame I ever tried back when 7-eye was Panoptics. I was living in Florida. I basically wasn't going outdoors a whole lot because my eyes hurt so much. This frame style worked really great. So anyway, it's now called Chirata, and it's got a nice thick eye cup in it. Oh, I can't find my Viento right now, but one of the very smallest frames that they have is the Viento. So if you want to know more about those ones, go to 7eye, that's just the number 7, EYE.com, and they've got quite a variety of air shield styles to choose from. And like I said, make use of any service where you can get multiple frame styles. That's 7eye. Then we get Wiley X, which, as I said, I tend to really like for driving purposes. One of the other things about Wiley X is, where's the AirRage? Gosh darn it. Is that an AirRage? Where is it? Yes. Okay. The AirRage frame. This is pretty much the smallest frame of its type on the market with the removable eye cup. The 7-eye Viento is pretty small. This one is smaller. It's always been my go-to, both for men and women, when I know I need a small, narrow fit. It's going to be too small for me, but actually it's not that bad. My gripe with these glasses is a couple of years back, they went through and they took all this foam and they just trimmed it down. They made them all skinnier, which meant people who were getting a right to the skin seal no longer did. So that was kind of annoying, but for a lot of people, these still do fit quite well. I like some of the larger Wiley X styles. Let's see, that one. What do we want here? Oh, here's the Boss. Now, these are always going to look stupid when you put a clear lens in them. They will look like goggles. That's inevitable. But this is a great frame style for coverage for a somewhat larger fit. I really like the fit on that. As you can see, you're going to wear that to an office. It's goggles. You can't get away from that effect. But boy, if you just want good old coverage, they work well. Okay, and just to clarify, with pretty much all 7i and Wiley X styles, there's a lot of different lens types that you can choose from. There's going to be clear lenses, there's going to be tinted lenses, there's going to be photochromic lenses, the ones that go from clear to tinted. There's going to be polarized lenses if you live in a bright sunny climate. And sometimes there'll be special ones like extra dark lenses or the light adjusting ones that get extra dark outside. Most people, as a practical matter, if they have severe dry eye and they need dry eye glasses, they will end up with an indoor and an outdoor pair, because no matter how you do it, the light adjusting technologies aren't really all that great. One of the biggest limitations is they don't get anywhere near dark enough outdoors. The special ones that do get really dark outdoors, they're just slower to adjust going indoors and outdoors. So I find people tend to end up with a couple different pairs. Okay, what else do we have? There's Tranquileyes moisture release glasses. I don't have any of those to show you because I just don't have them here, but I can talk about them a little bit. They're basically like fit overs, but with a thing that goes in them that you can put kind of a wet piece of foam. So they're gonna have some added moisture to them. And to my knowledge, they're the only ones on the market of this type of thing where you can add some moisture to them. The question that raises is then, by adding too much moisture, do you get more fogging? I don't know. Fogging is a problem that really varies a lot from user to user. Some people fog up in any kind of glasses. Some people never seem to fog up. Some people can put some quick spit on their glasses and they're fine. Take some experimentation. For me personally, if I'm going kind of in and out of my car or whatever, it's a hot day, I'm gonna probably, I'm gonna have something on, it's gonna fog up a little, I get in the car, I push it down my nose, wait a minute, and it goes away. Some other people though, they might have bigger problems with fogging. Going back to the Tranquileyes moisture release glasses, one of the other claims to fame, one of the things I would send people to those ones for is the bendable frame. It's got this bendable nose bridge. So if I've got someone where they've just got a really difficult time getting a pair of moisture chambers to fit their face, no matter what they do, I like the Tranquileyes moisture release glasses for the fact that you can just take them and bend them in. They're so flexible. Which takes me back actually to the 7i ones. They have a couple of frame styles where the earpieces are totally bendable, and those are really cool for people who have difficult fit issues as well. Okay, let's see, what else do we want to go over? Prescriptions. Generally, what you're looking at for any of these, the Zienas, the 7is, the Wiley X, you can tend to go up to about ±4 on prescriptions in those. There are going to be a few frame styles where you can go higher than that. There's going to be a few frame styles where you can put a special adapter on it to take a much higher prescription than that. You're going to get huge limitations when it comes to doing progressives, because when you've got a wrap type of lens and you're doing a progressive, the higher you go, the more distortion you're going to get. If you need a high prescription that's just beyond the bounds for moisture chamber glasses in general, I highly recommend heavyglare.com. I've just known so many people who have ordered on that website or used the optician at that company for very high or unusual or challenging prescriptions and done very well. That company works with all these different glasses brands, and they have the reputation for doing a really good job. Send people to them all the time. Other things about prescriptions. Don't ever order prescription moisture chamber glasses without trying the glasses on themselves. First, you need to make sure you've got a good fit before you invest in that. Most places, certainly the manufacturers, will allow you to return glasses that don't fit. Nobody is going to give you your money back on prescription lenses If they did a good job on the lenses and the glasses just didn't fit, that's kind of going to end up being your problem. So make sure they fit first. Then you got over glasses types of things. Let me pull out a couple of those. Anything that is a moisture chamber that goes over glasses, just prepare yourself for the fact it's going to be big, clunky, and ugly. Best case scenario. But the thing is, you know, if you're in pain, sometimes you're going to do what it takes and it's going to be worth it. The challenge will be getting something that actually really truly does fit over your glasses. So this is a Global Vision Outfitter. I love the nice deep foam on these things, and it's really quite soft foam. They're just like 20 bucks. I haven't looked at the pricing recently on Amazon, but there'll be something like that. You can get them with clear lenses or with tinted lenses. On anything like this, you'll see that there's going to be a gap in the foam at the sides. It's where the earpiece covers it, so it may or may not matter to you. Some people will jury rig it. They'll take some extra foam, maybe from a Tranquileyes goggle or something, and plug those gaps. Others just kind of deal with it. The then question of, is it really going to go over your glasses? When I was selling these, probably at least a third of them would come back because they wouldn't fit. We had the dimensions on the website and everything, but even sometimes if it was within the parameters, they might not fit. So I'm going to try this out actually. So this is my little tiny little microenvironment glasses. Let's see what these look like with an outfitter on top. Okay, so I can actually, on this one, I can get it to go mostly to the skin, but when it's over, the temples over here, it's going to want to slide forward a fair amount. So they make a strap for this that you can snap into these little holes. I discovered the other day that I could just about break my hand trying to get the strap to attach because the hole is so darn tight and at a weird angle. But it is possible to do that. Then we've got guard dogs. If ever there's a great company, I just love guard dogs. Look them up. It's like guard-dogs.com or something. They're a super customer-friendly company. Very, very nice people. They make a few different products for over RX. They make the Commander and the Evader 1 and the Evader 2. I'm going to show you the Evader 1. These are true, I mean, these are really motorcycle goggles, and they've got, again, deep foam. The foam isn't as nice as the one on the Outfitter, I'd say, but it's refoamable. They have spare little foams you can put on. Again, it's going to have a gap at the side, and then these ones are going to have a strap over them. So I've got some people who just wear these as is, you know, no glasses or anything. They're nice and deep. The coverage is terrific. So let's try the Evaders on over a pair of glasses and just see what happens. So to me, that's a lot more comfortable than the Outfitter. The strap, I don't have two temples competing with each other. It just, at the sides, okay, it looks incredibly stupid. That's all right. At the sides, it's just feeling much more comfortable, and they fit over these glasses quite well. They've got, obviously, all the dimensions of all their glasses online, so you can figure out what will fit over what, and they're pretty consistent about that. All right, other stuff. Cheap moisture chambers. There's lots of them. They're limited, but they can work really well. The top one is the onion goggles. I still remember when those first came out, and oh my gosh, what was her name? I think it was Gay. So a lady in Texas that was so excited because she saw them in a catalog somewhere. She found these things, and ever since then I've just been in love with them because they are the best little cheap moisture chamber. They're basically like a cheap knockoff of the 7-Eye Cyclone frame. They come in pink and red and tortoise and black and green and some abominable color combinations like that. But they work really well. They have nice deep foam. They have clear lenses. I've had a lot of people over the years use them as their mainstay dry eye glasses at the office. The main limitation is they are one size fits all, and one size does not fit all. It never does. They're a pretty stiff frame. They do not take prescription lenses, but I have had some pretty determined customers over the years who managed to twist an optician's arm and get some low RX prescription lenses put in onion goggles. Those are a great option. Look for those on Amazon or in a high-end kitchen store, places like that. What else? There's a lot of other glass. Let me find some here. We've got like these Global Vision ones that we used to have. Global Vision are the ones that make the Over RX outfitters. They have several styles that are like, they're cheap frames. They might be shiny or matte black. They've got a foam lining around them. It's really great to have something like this that costs 10 or 20 bucks. You're not going to worry too much about losing them or breaking them. They're just handy to have. You might be traveling, want something for the hotel room to protect yourself against the heat or air conditioning or things like that, or again at work or home. If you're not super concerned with looks, these can be super handy. You can get them with gray lenses if you want to wear more like sunglasses. So there's a lot of this around. Global Vision, as I said, makes some. There's Ultras, and there's, I can't remember what all brands. I've also heard often enough of people finding some similar to that at Walmart, so you just take a look around. Then there's always jury rigging. You can take a pair of regular glasses, and it's amazing what you can do with a little weather stripping when you try. What I would encourage anyone considering this type of thing to do is find, make, or buy something cheap that you can use to just experiment. Test the concept. Put some goggles on of some kind. It could be safety goggles, it could be onion goggles, it could be, like I said, weather stripping your own glasses. Try it out for a couple of hours. Try it out especially when you're on the computer or in an air-conditioned or overheated room. See how your eyes feel. That'll give you an idea, how much are these likely to help me before you go out and try and sink some money into some real moisture chamber glasses. But do try it. If you are in enough pain to bother watching a video like this to the end, you probably know by now, moisture chamber glasses are going to help. They are, like I said, the single most consistent, reliable, and safe way to get somebody extremely uncomfortable, comfortable again. So if you have never tried moisture chamber glasses, please try some.